braised oxtails. That's right, we've got some oxtails and some sweet, buttery, simmered beans and rice. Welcome to Floribbean Cuisine with Chef Winston. We're gonna have some fun today. So we are doing some braised oxtails, okay? Oxtails, some of you may wonder, oxtails, what are they? Oxtail is better, is explained as, is the tail of a cow, okay? It's the tail of a cow or cattle, and it's very, very tough type of meat because it's a working part of the animal. So you gotta braise this for some time, season it very well, and this is a delicacy and a staple in the Caribbean islands. You go to any Caribbean islands in Florida, New York, if you go to any Caribbean restaurants in Florida, New York, California, anywhere within the United States, oxtail is sure to be on that menu. I'm gonna share today with you guys a method of cooking it in the oven. That's right. It's a process you usually see on the stovetop, but I'm gonna share with you guys an oven method that's just as good and also good, Bordelaise style, by me adding some red wine. It's gonna be so good, so let's get started. So I've got some washed and clean oxtails here, and we're gonna season it up. Oxtail needs a lot of love. So what I'm gonna do is this. I've got me some garlic powder. Yes. We're gonna add some onion powder. We're gonna add some salt. You gotta make it taste good. Salt, some pepper, black pepper that is. I love black pepper in my beef. Black pepper. We got some paprika. Why am I using paprika? Help with the color. Not smoked, just regular paprika. Help with the coloring of this. And I'm gonna add some allspice berries, some crushed allspice berries in there. Garlic, of course. We need some garlic, some fresh garlic. And we need onions. We're gonna put the onions in there. This is smelling so good and looking so good already. The spices that I'm using is gonna take this to another level, okay? So, also, I got some ginger. Add some ginger to that. Putting that all together, it's looking really, really good. So I'm gonna put some soy sauce, another little bit element over here, and I'm gonna mix this up really well. So what you're gonna do, once you mix this up, you wanna let this marinate overnight, or maybe for like 4 or 5 hours. Let this marinate. Look at how beautiful this is. Let this marinate. As you see, I got some peppers and onions and stuff of that nature over here. We're gonna put some tomatoes in here, and I'm gonna add my peppers and celery and carrots later on in the cooking process. So what you wanna do with this part, you wanna take this and put it into your refrigerator cupboard and let it marinate, okay? So let's come on over to the stove so we can see what's happening, and I'm gonna put this in the fridge in the meantime, okay? Be right back. All right, after pulling your oxtails from the refrigerator after it has been marinated really, really well, I pulled it out and let it sit for about probably another 20 minutes so we can get the chill off of these oxtails. Now we're gonna come on over and start braising and coloring this, okay? How we gonna do that is this. Get you a nice pan, a nice pan, add some oil, and we're gonna start taking out the oxtails. Don't put everything in there, don't put the onions and stuff. Just start taking out the oxtail piece at a time. See that? Oh yeah, this is good browning right here. Oh man, look at this. You're smelling the aroma. A nice hot pan. Look at this here. It's cooling it down. Perfect. So I'm gonna let this sit on here. Don't touch it, just let it go, okay? Let it go. All right, as you can see, this is what we're looking for. We're trying to get this oxtail nice and brown and caramelized, getting all of those flavors on there. We don't want no white stewed looking oxtails. A lot of people add sugar and all that good stuff, but we're not doing that. We are doing it to a natural old school style. Look at this. Oh man, this looks really good. Now, at this point, this oxtail is nice and brown. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some hot water. Look at that. Hot water to that. we're not gonna submerge it. We're gonna add some hot water. Let this here, oh man, look at this. This looking really, 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 really good. Add a little bit more hot water. And at this point, oxtail takes a while. At this point, what I'm gonna do, give it a little bit more salt, not much. All right, and so we're gonna add some more to the tomato paste to this oxtail. And what we're doing with this tomato paste is gonna add a depth of flavor, depth of color, and it's gonna pull the gelatinous properties out of this oxtail as it's stewed down. Look at it, it's looking really good already. Look at that, it's looking rich. But this oxtail still got some time to go. This oxtail probably gonna take a good 45 minutes, or even over an hour to get nice and tender. But we do not wanna rush this process. We wanna let the oxtails do its thing, and it's gonna be nice falling off the bone and oh so tasty, okay? So let's get this here covered and stick it into the oven. Because in the oven, it's gonna cook it nice and even, and we can forget about it for about 30-35 minutes, because oxtail originally takes a good 45, over an hour at times to cook. So we're gonna speed it up a little bit, so we don't have to babysit it that much, and stick it in the oven, right here. All right. So what we're gonna do while this oxtail is simmering down, we're gonna start on some nice rice to accompaniment this oxtail. Stay with me. So with this beautiful oxtails, we need something to go along with it. What better than a nice rice? I got a very simple rice that I usually like to do with my oxtails at parties and at home. So what I got here, right, I've got a pot with some water already that's boiling, just regular water. What I have here is some coconut milk. We're gonna add the coconut milk into that. We're gonna season the coconut milk with some salt, not too much. Remember, we don't want this to be overpowering or overbearing because we got some beautiful oxtail gravy that's going with this. So you want it to be nice, okay? With that, also I'm gonna add some butter, some fresh butter with that, and I'm gonna add the red beans, okay? About that much, that's good. So we're gonna bring this here to a boil and then add the rice and let it simmer down and be all nice and tasty, okay? I'll be right there with you, okay? So the rice, oh yes. So what we want to do, we want to taste this rice to make sure, taste the liquid in the rice. Perfect. No more salt needed. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add our rice. Yes. Add our rice in here. And then we're gonna stir it up, get another spoon, stir it up, and let this rice simmer down and do its thing. Okay, so while that's working, we're gonna check our oxtails. This oxtail's been going about a good 35 minutes. Let's give it a look. Get some rags. Cooking oxtails in the oven. This is gonna be so tasty. Woo, melt in your mouth oxtail. Just take this out. Let's see how this looks. Beautiful so far. So at this point, do you remember all of the stuff from the marinade? We're gonna add that in here. Add that in there. Perfect. And look at this. I've got some carrots. I've got some peppers. And I got some celery. We're gonna add in here. And what I'm gonna add to this as well, I've got a Scotch bonnet pepper. Now, working with Scotch bonnet peppers is very, very dangerous in terms of it's hot. My trick to you, my advice to you, get your Scotch bonnet pepper, put a little prick inside of it. We're not gonna cut it. By doing that, it's gonna release its flavors and its power slowly, okay? I'm putting it in at this stage. This oxtail probably got about, almost nice and tender. This oxtail got about another good 25 minutes, 20-25 minutes at tops. And it's looking really, really, really good. So what I'm gonna do now, cover it back up and stick this into the oven. And we're gonna see what the finished product looking like soon. Oh my goodness. All right, one last thing we gotta add to these oxtails to make it even more tasty. I'm gonna take this here out and I'm gonna add, of course, my red wine. Oh my gosh, it's looking good. Add my red wine to this. That red wine will give it another element of flavor, another depth of flavor. It's been oh so good. So these oxtails been simmering away in the oven for about a good 45 minutes to an hour now. This should be done. So let's take a look to see what it looks like. I'm so excited. The rice is done. We're gonna enjoy us some oxtail soon. Let's take this out. Oh man. Let's take a look at this. Woo! I'm excited. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Just perfect. Perfect. It's nice and thick. Look at this. The tomatoes, like I said, the tomatoes help pull out the gelatinous properties of the oxtail, give the light depth of flavor. And oh my goodness, and look at the Scotch bonnet pepper, still hanging in there. Didn't bust away to make this dish overbearing in spiciness, but it looks good. The meat is tender, very tender. So we're about to have some good eating. Let's play this up. I'll be right back with you. Look at this beautiful, oh my goodness, this hair looks amazing, okay? Look at that, the vegetables. Everything is not cooked down too much because I added the vegetables at a crucial point almost near to the end. So it cooked perfectly with the tenderness, and look at the drip. See that? Looks beautiful, looks beautiful. So let's plate this up. We're gonna put some of this into a bowl. Oh man. Ooh, this is what you call island comfort food. Island comfort food. This is so good. Smells even, cannot wait to dive in. Put some of that there. And of course, do you remember the rice? Let's rinse this off a little bit. Remember the rice? Fluff it up, look at that. Perfect. Red beans and rice simmered in coconut milk. A little bit of salt, a little bit of butter, not too much, okay? So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna mold this up to make it look pretty. As a caterer, you know, I always gotta make it look sexy, right? I'm gonna mold this up, and we're gonna put this here. Woo! And I have some plantains that I had left over. We're gonna put some plantains right around here to bring this whole dish together. What do you guys think? This is Floribbean Caribbean cooking at its finest. I'm so excited to taste this. So excited to share this with you guys. This looks really good. Get a little bit of parsley. Put some parsley on top of that. We are working it. Stewed braised oxtail in the oven, Bordelaise. We added some red wine to that. Complemented our side dish with this. Rice, red beans and rice simmered in coconut milk. And a little bit of water. Served with some plantains. This is gonna be a winner at any dinner table. I'm Chef Winston. Thank you for joining me on Floribbean Cuisine. Join me next time for another tasty show. Cheers.